That's clear. Sorry.
You started off.
Yeah. The first pickup.
Claire's here with a special small, fast white guy for you.
Small fast white guy. Danny Amendola
Ah,
from St. Louis, now that Clayton's out.
we love him.
He is a must pickup.
The Niner
He
guy
shows-
tackled him there.
Wait, look at this picture. See the picture? Look at how tiny his arm looks next to the guy tackling.
Yeah, but look at with how much gumption and speed he's racing away. He's so quick. He's so tiny too that people don't even see him darting around the field. No, but to be honest, it's pretty amazing how well he does out there. So go get him.
Well, and he's the answer for you Mark Clayton owners. After Clayton left the game, obviously we didn't talk about Mark Clayton and injuries. That's because he's out for the year. He's done.
And nobody cares about him anymore.
Yeah,
Nobody will
exactly. He's
mention
now
him
dead
ever
to us.
again.
Yeah.
That's how personal this gets.
Danny Amendola got 12 targets after he left, so he looks like he might be the guy that's filling in. It's also a good idea to keep an eye on Laurent Robinson and Gibson. But Danny Amendola is currently available in 79% of leagues, and he's a great pickup. Bradford's shown that even as a rookie, he's very good at getting guys the ball, and he likes locking on to his key guy like he did with Clayton. We're guessing Amendola is going to be that guy there. The next, we're starting off with a trio of wide receivers for you, by the way. Amendola was one. Steve Johnson, wide receiver in Buffalo, still available in 90% of leagues. Why do we like a guy like this? Wide receivers on teams that suck because they're always throwing from behind. He's now got Fitzpatrick, which is a huge upgrade over Edwards. But then again, so is my shoe.
Well, just examine that sentence, though. Fitzpatrick is a huge upgrade.
Right.
Over possibly the greatest pile of trash to play the position.
Oh,
wow.
I'm saying it. I can't stand
Besides
Edwards.
Todd Marinovich.
Yeah, but you knew,
As a
at least
pro.
he was entertaining. He
All
was
right,
so
all right.
bad it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
So, Steven Johnson looks like a good guy in Buffalo, again available in 90% of leagues. And Anthony Armstrong, wide receiver in Washington, available in 96% of leagues.
Exciting last week, couple of great catches.
He's had 2 weeks in a row, he's had a catch for over 40 yards. This guy's a great deep threat, and he's got McNabb throwing him the ball. McNabb's still got a great arm. Even though he's not as mobile, his arm is just as good as it ever was. That's a great pickup. Now, our next guy is if you were a Finley owner. This is the guy that we haven't talked about yet. Finley went down, Lee went down, and that leaves us with JJ. Tell us about who that leaves us with.
John Coon. Wait, no, sorry. What? It's a response.
Aaron.
Andrew, is it Corliss?
Corliss.
The guy is so deep on the bench, I don't know who he is. But he is now the tight end for Green Bay. And, it's just him. There's nobody else.
He had 4 catches for 50 yards.
He played pretty well. And with Aaron Rodgers coming back and, the way that you have, in Green Bay, they still got to dump pass a lot because there's a lot of penetration going into that backfield, and they got to get rid of the ball. And that's why their tight ends have been so successful, and he's it.
Yeah.
So if you owned him, Jermichael Finley, this is the guy you pick up.
He's a really good guy to pick up if the guys we haven't already mentioned aren't still
Yeah,
available.
if Pettigrew isn't available.
Pettigrew, Tony
I love
Moyaki,
Pettigrew.
Aaron Hernandez. I don't know if you've heard about him.
For Greg Jennings owners, I think this will be an interesting transitional week. I think this will be the week that we sort of find out if a disgruntled Jennings, who's not really getting the ball, I think he's had like 2 catches the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if he starts picking it up himself and getting the ball more and getting some more
Yeah, but Jennings did that last year too. Jennings was, if
Late
you look
bloomer.
at his overall stats, they were great, but really he had 4 great games and 12 terrible games, and he seems to be doing that. He's already had 1 great game this year, and 4 mediocre to terrible games, and he's one of those guys that I like guys like this for trading, because his overall stats look good in a trade. But
Jennings,
but he's not the kind of guy that somebody, people will look at him and they think, well, he's a top 10 wide receiver. I don't think he is, but a lot of people view him that way.
I don't either.
I like Driver better because Driver's
more.
more consistent. Driver will get you more balls on a more consistent basis.
Sure.
So,
Love a guy who gets me more.
the next guy we're going to talk about is simply if you own a die, he's now the guy who's backing him up because Brown's been out. I'm not huge on this guy, but if you own Joseph Adai, pick up Mike Hart. He's the 3rd string running back in Indianapolis. He's now 2nd string. He might get a little more work. He's available in 95% of leagues. If you're hurting at that position, you're concerned about Adai, he's the guy to pick up just until you know Adai is okay.
Yeah.
Claire, would you like to talk about the next guy? Because I know you like him.
Are we talking about Mike Bell?
Mike Bell.
Yeah, we talked a little about him earlier. And I was talking about how I think he's a good pickup in Cleveland because I'm worried about poor Hillis. And how he might get hurt this week. I hope he doesn't.
Might get hurt.
It's like Pittsburgh's got a hit on him, man. Like,
I know,
Pittsburgh's
like,
like, Hillis
I'm
isn't
just
Nobody
even
took a
alive.
contract out on him.
Claire's running out of steam.
I mean, the guy, he's a running
Claire
back.
is
He's going to
reeling
fly
right
with
now.
people.
They're going to hand him a blindfold and
my
a cigarette and put him
theory-
against a wall.
My
That's what's going to happen.
is that Cleveland has been using. I think Cleveland has been overworking poor Hillis in these last few weeks, and so he runs a greater risk of having to sit a few games out. And so Mike Bell might get a few more carries. But yeah, I think also, it might be they might trade off a little bit. There might be, I don't know, he might get worked into the system quicker. So yeah, Mike Bell.
He's available in 66% of leagues. That's not, we usually try to give you guys that are available in 80%, but he was big trade news this week. And I agree. I think even if Hillis is okay, Bell's going to get work. So he's a decent
It could be like
pickup
the
and a
Matthews
flex start.
Tolbert situation that's
Yeah,
going on right
exactly.
now in San Diego. So
Guys, I want to take a moment because Adam and I were talking about this the other day. And, when every week we talk about these players who are available in a certain number of leagues and, the percentage of availability.
Or
this
in
and that.
Claire's league, it's
Guys,
just called pick up whoever
in Claire's
you like.
league, everybody's available. It's one of the rules
yeah,
of the league, as we
this
mentioned.
is like this is like on page 3 of who's available.
Claire just thinks about picking up Terrell Owens, and boom, he's on her team. But telepathy aside, we talk about these guys, but everybody has there's tens of thousands of fantasy football leagues all over the place, right, JJ? So every league has a different scoring system. Every league has a different roster system, right? My league has a flex and 2 wide receivers and a tight end. Some people do no tight end, or they just do a flex in place of the tight end, or they have 3 running backs, or they have 2 quarterbacks. So I think it's important that we make sure that our viewers understand the context within which we're guiding them to pick up these players. When I brought up a guy like Mike Thomas last week, or a Steve Johnson, who I mentioned to you, it's because some people would say, God, Steve Johnson, it's insane. I'm going to go pick up Donald Driver. But the fact is, if you're playing in a league with 12 teams or 14 teams, and and enough positions are filled, you'll find in some leagues that there's just nobody left.
Yeah.
And in a lot of leagues, I know we joke about Claire's, but in a lot of leagues there are better quality players available for a longer period of time. So when we tell you to pick up these guys, sometimes it might seem like, oh, this is crazy. But depending on the type of league you have, those might be the only guys left, Steve Johnson or a Mike Thomas.
Yeah, like you
or
look
Kenny
at
Britt.
in my league, which doesn't have a lot of depth in the free agency. Like Kenny Britt is the #1 scoring wide receiver as a free agent so far this year. Like
Right.
people.
Best you're going to get.
Devone
Yeah.
Best gone in my league. Breston gone in my league. Mario
Yeah.
Manningham gone. Mason gone. All those guys
Yeah.
are gone in my league.
Yeah, I've
So-
got one of the online leagues I'm in, and I keep up with the news as much as I can, but sometimes I find out about something because I get that little email that says, hey, this guy's picked up this guy, and then I go, why did he pick him up? And then I go, oh, okay, Mike Bell just got traded to Cleveland. That's why he picked him up, and these guys are on it. They pick him up quick. The big shows, that evil 4-letter network, you know what I'm talking about? They'll recommend...
TNT.
WABC.
That's 3. Well, actually, it is ABC. It's an affiliate of ABC. They'll recommend guys that are never available in leagues. It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Like you said, they'll say, well, Donald Driver's a great start this week. Well, yeah, but somebody's already got Donald Driver. He's been great for years. We try to find you guys that will be available, that will actually be able to help you.
Yeah.
That said, the last little part of that segment is, I'm a big fan of playing defenses against bad offenses. This is the worst week of the year for it, because most of the teams playing bad offenses are probably already taken, like San Diego, who's getting St. Louis. But there's one game where you can play either sides of it. It's kind of like Detroit and St. Louis last week.
You are
It
so
is San
mean.
Francisco and Oakland.
Such a mean, obnoxious
Yeah,
person.
both of
Plus,
those defenses
Buffalo's
are better than both of those offenses.
Claire
like
and I
both
are
those
banding
D.
together. We defy you. We defy you, Oakland.
maybe this will be the week. I said
0 and
that last
5 and
week.
proud of it.
Yeah, because
I'm like maybe we'll get Andrew Luck. That's my.
right? I
Yeah.
was 4 years old when Tampa Bay went 0 and 14. I couldn't enjoy that. But now, this could happen.
You could get
We
to
may
see-
not win one goddamn
We might
game.
not win a game. We really like.
You guys could
might
call
not.
Detroit at the end of the
Probably
year
will.
and be like, I feel you.
It's been
Yeah.
it's been a field goal. Like
Bring in
every-
Matt Millen. Matt Millen should be our GM.
Yeah.
We need it. Yeah, it
Right?
starts there.
I don't want to get rid of that yet.
White guy for you.
Small pass white guy, Danny Amendola
Ah,
from St. Louis. Now that Clayton's out,
we love him.
he is a must pickup.
The Niner guy
shows-
tackled him there.
Wait, look at this picture. See?
That's clear. Sorry.
You start off.
Yeah. The first pickup.
Claire's here with a special small fast in the picture. Look at how tiny his arm looks next to the guy tackling.
Yeah, but look at with how much gumption and speed he's racing away. He's so quick.
Well, and he's the answer for you Mark Clayton owners. After Clayton left the game, obviously we didn't talk about Mark Clayton and injuries. That's because he's out for the year. He's done.
And nobody cares about him anymore.
Yeah,
Nobody
exactly.
will
He's
mention
now
him.
dead.
He's so tiny too that people don't even see him darting around the field. No, but to be honest, it's pretty amazing how well he does out there. So go get him.